Hey Leo. So you can't tell, but I'm doing this during sunset, and I'm doing this on purpose during sunset. It's the moment in the sky where most people will pull over to witness or be in awe of, regardless of how many they see in their life. And it's the sun that draws us to those places. It's the sun that guides us through the day. It's the sun that we continuously can be grateful for to keep us alive. And I know that's a certain place to start. And before I get into it, all of it, I do want to say that information to work with me one-on-one is below. I do extended readings, which is I do more questions after this reading is over and put it on Patreon, so that link is below. And a link to work with me personally, one-on-one. More options will be available on Patreon shortly for recorded readings. And hold on one second. Okay. So I dropped the Ace of Swords and the Hierophant also came out. So we've specifically talked about the spiritual nature in which is changing throughout everyone in its own way, which also directly correlates to our physical nature. So we are so drawn to the sun by its changes, especially the sunset. In this time where that moment when the hot day starts to really cool down and where some people just unintentionally get quiet and entering the evening. And so how does this correlate with the Hierophant and the Ace of Swords and the spiritual nature, which also pertains to our physical nature? Well, in the Ace of Swords, it's this acknowledgement and your capability to get really clear and get really focused and make decisions and bring people together in a way where you never even asked. It's just something that you do and something that draws people to you. So in this time when you've been contemplating what kind of people you want around your relationships and entering this time of you changing your spiritual beliefs based off of what is happening physically with the world and your own personal world, and how that's shifting your traditions and how you believe in what you believe in and what you put your energy towards. And this very apparent clarity will draw so much to you. The only thing, and I read this today, now the Strength card has not come out, but it is about Leo. The only thing, so the Hierophant is also Taurus, another fixed sign. So the only thing that can cause any disruption for you this month is that's all, I didn't expect that to fall out. That having no expectation to the point where you're not fixed to the power that you gain from this month, like more than you do all year round. That you're not totally attached to what it is that you have set in motion, because there's some fruits that want to fruit from whatever you've built so far. And it's really important that you be generous with yourself, but also understand that when you speak this month, more than ever, people are listening to you. And of course, you're always delightful to be around most of the time. Though this is about you, and then with all the Virgo that's coming through, Virgo entering Mars on the 29th and going from you to them, that you're still with Mars in your sign, that there's a lot of fire and there's a lot of that at your fingertips, at your lips. So where you've been working on for a while, whether people have noticed or not, is how you communicate and what you communicate and when you communicate. Because you can, Leo, you can be that overbearing, I want this, I am the king, this is what has to happen, and this is how it's gonna go, and it's my party, I can do whatever I want to. And yet there's this part of you that has shifted. Now, of course, that vibe is still very much you and what we expect from you and what others expect from you. But now this time, which is why I put out the Aquarius, that's a part of the reason why I put out the Aquarius video first, is that you're the center of attention. At this point, and are so in, most of you are so in that knowing of, I know who I am. I know when I walk in, what goes down, what shines around you, what people you draw to me. I have so much fun. I don't need to be first this time. I know what's coming to me. I trust this. I've been working through what's not spiritually aligning with me physically, and really allowing yourself to see that this is not separate in a way that's very deep for you. And not that you don't go deep, it's just more of like the physical world is where you rule. It's where the sun, where everything shines. So last month for you wasn't so much hard to do things or to move around, where a lot of people, you found there was tiredness throughout everything, but mostly you were just tired of understanding what people are going through, so you had to hold back some things. And now you're like, no, I know what I want. I'm going to move how I want to move. And that's very clear to you. And the steps kind of roll out. So this month is a lot about celebration, a lot about receiving so much even more praise from people that maybe you've unexpected praise from. And just like, happy birthday. And this month is like the gift that keeps on giving for you. Because what then you notice about yourself? There's a few things this month that you do want to be cautious of and want to be aware of, is not to overpromise yourself. If you know that you're not going to be able to do and say yes to all these things, don't overpromise yourself. Do not give yourself away. Do not make yourself exhausted from everyone who wants to be around you and everyone who's drawn to you. Why don't instead, if you want to be around all of these people, have them come to you? Where are you? What's the setup? Have them come to you. It's very much your time to be like, no, you are very much someone who's not afraid to like go out, adventure, get out of your comfort zone. But in this season, it's about you being where you want to be. And just be even more you and straightforward with that, because anything that gets not miscommunicated, it's more of like anything that's misunderstood or whatever connections aren't flowing in a way where it's with ease, will just bring about more frustration. So it's best for you this month to be very aware that the value that you've gained through clearing things up with yourself. It's very much this pronounced feeling of being supported and loved and celebrated by not only the divine, because you understand that, but it's you have this more intimate feeling with an existence with the universe this month. And through your birthday season and through this time where, to all the Leos watching this, each one of you have been born in a different time of Leo, and those for you who might be watching this for a Leo, just understand that you might see this side of Leo, and I'm thinking of the baby that is on the Sun card that didn't, none of the Leo cards came out. Okay. So this over generous part of you that just wants to give. And that's in many different ways. That's giving in terms of, just gifts, but giving the gift of your presence, giving the gift of your energy, giving the gift of your words. And then there's those times where it's like harsh and it can be rather critical or demanding, or very demanding and high expectations. And here you are in your season where you've learned and you've been learning this balance for yourself too, so that you don't run into these too inflexible, too rigid nature where you, or that part of you that feels so knowing that maybe it turns into overbearing. No, this month is very much generous with you as you will be with others, but still not to the detriment of what you need, because anything, again, that just feels out of alignment will show up for you to be like, okay, like I'm seeing this for what it is. And the energy that I have now, has a lot to do with the fact that you haven't been doing that. You haven't been over giving of yourself. And if you have been, it's highly advised that you stop, that this month you keep that going, that you still do your thing and you go out and again, maybe even drawing people to you, but not to overgive yourself, because here's the thing, it's your time to receive the love and to benefit from what you do all year for people. And it's really that time for you this month. And which means the people you actually want near you. Because that feeling that you're feeling is that, again, that intimate nature, that of connection, that you feel not only that you're hearing these words from people and these expressions from people, but you feel the depth to them. You feel that they see you, that you're being seen in this way that, yeah, you know that you are, and you acknowledge that you are, and that everyone knows a Leo is, but it's just so much different right now for you. It's this this interconnected feeling, and that transmutation from last month, and just making it such a solid investment in yourself and in your life. I'm sorry that keeps doing that. I just don't want to do this over. I really think this is beautiful. So you've seen and just realized so much about where you were giving your attention to places that were never worth your time or your energy, or they were just constantly bringing you back in this loop of why do I feel this way? Why this doesn't feel right? What do I keep doing? And you nipped that and found what habit that was, and it showed you where it had been harping upon this notion that you can't have, or you won't have, or this part of you that feels so inclined to achieve what you desire is now being reignited with this passion and this fire of your season, and you're being given it in every aspect of your life and receiving it so much more intimately with everyone that you're in communion with and you're in relationship with, as well as maybe even connecting to your side of yourself that wants to speak about it and people want to listen through your experiences, and you want to gather people around. You might feel very inclined to be around people that are, that are your family or you feel really close to. Yes, you may meet new people this month, but this is more about going along with the Ace of Swords and the Hierophant. Is like there's so much that's still being opened up in these places and that which you've known for a long time anyway. And it's something that you've only allowed to a certain extent, and now you're wanting to allow more. And these people also, and it's like just perfect timing for it to all happen, because there may be a Taurus in your life who really needs this conversation with you, and it just so happens that it happens at the right time and you don't hold back. You're just very yourself in this place, and it was just this mutual openness and connection, and it just hit the right areas and the right spots. It's just this it's going to be this continuum of a sunset, this beautiful moment, time after time after time again this month, and either being so acknowledged for everything and seen for everything that you are is something that but it's something that's going to ground you in a way that maybe these people around you, you'll give back that love that they're giving to you, because it's such a mutual grounding experience. I'm sorry for that camera thing happening the whole time. That didn't happen before, but I didn't want to do this over. Happy birthday to all of you Leos. We'll look at the cards and clarify it even more. Take it all in, use it. Don't give it to other people. Do what you want. It's your freedom. It's your life, as you know. It's your voice. And just know that some people are not going to want to hear your wisdom. They may think they want to listen, but they might not. Either way, talk to those who will listen. Celebrate yourself greatly and allow yourself to be celebrated and loved more than ever, Leo. We'll get into the extended where I clarify this more deeply, and all the information to work with me is below. I love you. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you next month. Hi, Leo. So, I always do that. So the thing is here is that it's very clear that you've come to this realization over and over again for a while. And whatever you've cut out of your life, you've become very clear about. Why? Well, you've been on this journey for a while about this connection between the physical and the spiritual part of yourself. And because the sun is shining, it's not really a thing you can actually disconnect, but for you, there was some type of separation. And now it's the union of it in a different way. So it's always been there, again, because it cannot be separated, but it's the way it's been there. And now you feel very inclined to speak about it, to speak about maybe what you're grateful for, what in terms of traditional ways that you want to follow, and also everything that you held back and everything that moved through you last month now wants to come out. You're like, yes, my season, my stage, my time, I'm here, I want it. And you're kind of just unbothered by anything else. Why? Because there's so much to be grateful for. There's so much love to be given and shared and received. And there's so much that has been worked for. There's so much that has been worked towards. It may not always appear that way with you guys. But when you want to make a point, you'll just like put your head down and do it. You'll get it done. Even if it seems like it comes easy or it doesn't appear easy from the outside, because when Leo isn't good at something, or when Leo isn't good at something right away or struggles with certain things, I mean, everyone's always rooting for you. It's more just like about how you perceive yourself. And this season, your season is here for you to like just constantly be put in the situation where everything is very clear to you. Whatever you're communicating, whatever you're expressing is very clear to you. The only thing is that when you do that, so that's where this also, judgment, the Hierophant, this all comes in to play. I was reading, and I was telling you this earlier, I believe. It's just that, notice that fine line of you being you and who's listening, because people are listening regardless of what you're saying. So you can talk about the connections you've had, the past, how that's presenting itself in the future, how hard you've worked. You can indulge them, because that's what they'll want from you. They'll want you to indulge them. The thing is, though, that you've refined your nature. Again, this very conjoining part of the spiritual and physical nature is like who you want around to actually do that with. It's not the same as it used to be. Before, you would indulge anyone who would give you that time. Not just anyone, people who you really wanted to, who you would want to be there. But now it's like more about the exchange of the indulgence, like the real connection beneath it. It's not just for whoever this person is or whoever they were to you or whatever happened. It's like, no, this person is just there because this is the person, these are the people, I want to be there. And that opens up your life to something that heals something in your past, or it heals this part of you, or reveals this part of you that ignites a passion for those of you. It's been very much a mundane task. And now for a lot of you, you're coming out of this place where it's personal, but it's like out there, but it's not really like it's whatever. But to you, it's very much a part of you of like what you're passionate about. And there's like this reignition of passion through this, what you felt. And it was this sense of family, the structure of family, wanting certain things but not wanting other things, meeting someone who was almost what you wanted. All these different kinds of experiences that you've had, especially for those of you who are partnered. There is going to be probably talk about marriage in the very near future for some of you also. But this is just about like everything that's happening, whether you're partnered or not. There's just so much love to be experienced, so much of yourself to be felt and experienced in a different way. Again, the threes are heavy here too. This change within you that's been changing for a while, but now it's like, I'm here. It's Leo season. It's time. I'm coming out. I've been out, but like I'm out. And like that paints a really real picture of both looking in the past, how what you thought you wanted at one point, how not holding on to that allowed all of this to transpire, which because sometimes it can cause, all of this can be intoxicating. So it can have you be going backwards. And I think that's why these are important, why they're all facing the left, and why this is in reverse, because you want to see how hard you've worked, especially for those of you who needed to cut out some certain things and had some real contemplation to do the past month, especially in terms of who's around you, what's around you, why they're around you. And now by the end of the month, yes, this passion's going to be lit, especially under terms of like your home values and how you want to build life from that place, how you want to use this passion from that place instead of using all this extra energy to go backwards. But you're going to notice, you're going to reflect more than you normally do this month. By the end of the month, you're kind of be like that. No matter how old you are, you're going to sit back and look at like your life for just a moment and see it from this outside perspective and see the connection and these sort of contracts that you've made with yourself and how renegotiating with yourself throughout this time was actually the best thing you could have ever did, because you knew and you know of yourself that you will change your mind if you need to. You're not afraid to take that lead. But it's where will it bring you? What is this? Why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? And it's for this stable place of being able to express yourself and express how you really feel without wondering or caring too much. There's a freedom that's coming through to you because of this connection that you found, this faith in this very grounded place. And it shows up physically throughout the month in ways that are probably going to surprise you. So just know that by the end of the month, the reflection that shows up is kind of just like that. It's that horizon. Yeah, it's like we talked about, it's that horizon, it's that sunset when that time, the day is ending and it's like, oh, what a day. And it just felt like a day you could write many stories about, you can experience many times in your head, a day that you want to relive. And this Leo season will be one you never want to forget. So dramatic, but like so true. All information to work with me one-on-one is below, Leo. Happy birthday. And I believe I said in the beginning, extended reading where we go more into this through the deck on Patreon. And if you'd like to donate as well. See you next month.